Dear KPS parents and guardians, today I am privileged to announce the Kalamazoo Promise, a very exciting program that will provide tuition and mandatory fees to KPS resident graduates who have been in the district for 4 years or more. I believe we are the first school system in the nation that can say, residing in the district and graduating from Kalamazoo Public Schools promises
funding for college.
With thanks, Janice M. Brown, Superintendent.
The Kalamazoo Promise is provided by anonymous donors, a gift to a community, if you will, to achieve their educational goals in post-secondary education and finish with little to no debt.
The Kalamazoo Promise is almost absurdly generous. It pays all of your tuition and fees before any other grant aid.
It's so simple. Any student who graduates from the Kalamazoo Public Schools, who has attended for at least all of high school and also resided in the Kalamazoo Public School District.
Everybody knows about Kalamazoo Promise. To me, it's what the city is really known for.
You can use your scholarship anytime within 10 years after high school graduation. And most surprisingly of all, the Kalamazoo Promise is set up to continue in perpetuity.
And with that announcement, we knew Kalamazoo would change forever.
5 years later, and the Kalamazoo Promise lives on.
After 8 successful years, 10 years.
13 years.
15 years of delivering.
Kalamazoo Promise has been changing lives of graduating seniors for nearly 20 years.
Times were very difficult. It was a gradual erosion of our population of students, like 1 or 2% a year. But that has a very devastating effect on a public school system that gets paid by the number of students it serves.
From the announcement to the fall of 2006, enrollment in the Kalamazoo Public Schools increased by 10%. That's a huge number.
When the Kalamazoo Promise was started, it was just a scholarship. The idea was that the donors would put a lot of money on the table and the community would figure out what else is needed.
I think the Promise got right from the very beginning that we needed to include as many people as possible.
What the Kalamazoo Promise is about is will. And whether or not a community has the will to do this work is the true question.
My first goal in the first 30 days was to have my initial meeting with the seniors and their parents to get them started on the Promise.
What would happen back then is, like, let's say you had an issue with your tuition or something, you would call up Bob Jorth. Hey, something happened with my tuition.
Since I was the only one, I was answering the phones, I was making the copies, I was doing all that stuff.
And then Bob would fix it. Bob answered his phone every single time he called it.
Wish I can get another book from the library and keep it.
Do you guys know what college is?
Let's see. You have your own hat and then you grow up.
My name's Rihanna Sinai Clay Valdez.
Jonathan Yarbrough.
Artasia Julian.
Clark Atkinson.
I'm Brittany Morales. Born and raised
in
Kalamazoo, Michigan. I got the Promise in 2007, and here we are almost 20 years later, and I'm actually teaching like the next generation of social workers.
Where I work now, that was never at the top of my mind, like ever. I was never just sitting in my house like, ooh, I'm gonna work for Stryker one day, like it's gonna be a great life. This kind of made my reality a little bit bigger.
When people aren't stressed out about the money side of things, it opens their eyes to a lot more opportunities.
Because my mom was a single mom, paying for college for myself and my sister would kind of be a stretch.
Without the Promise, I really don't know where I would be, because it's given me a chance to go get my education. I've always wanted to go get an education, and the Promise helps me, give back to the community in a way.
I would like to experience life, go off and do something else, but I will come back to Kalamazoo. I'm just gonna come back and do whatever I gotta do to return the favor.
In my own experience, I live here. I make money here. I pay taxes here. My kids go to school here. I moved back here for a reason, and that was to contribute. I think one thing that people don't understand is, like, just because there's an opportunity in front of you doesn't mean that, like, you can access that opportunity.
It's not easy for someone to focus on education when they're having to deal with, where am I going to get my next meal? Where am I going to sleep or lay my head at?
They were facing those the day before graduation. We knew right away they'd be facing those after. So a scholarship would not be the entire answer. One of those first things we wanted to solve for was being able to have the capacity to provide extra levels of support.
One of the things that the Promise does that doesn't necessarily make headlines is offer these wraparound services to help students be successful. If we need some flexibility here or there, they will work with you on a personal level to make sure that that happens.
Over the course of the Kalamazoo Promise, we have learned that there are lots of ways that a Promise Scholar can benefit from supports. That's why we have several initiatives to support scholars on their educational and career journeys. Males of Promise, Promise Up, Her Promise, Elevate, and Higher Promise. And these programs are offered beyond the scholarship. We want to make sure our Promise Scholars are ready for success.
That Higher Promise internship program not only taught us skills like personal financial literacy, how to manage my credit, how to have difficult conversations with managers or with fellow coworkers, offering the internship opportunities so I can gain that hands-on experience and know if this is actually a field I'm passionate about and want to go into.
The Kalamazoo Promise pours back into the interns who come back during the summer, gives them an opportunity to start their career goals. And once they graduate college, if they're offered a job by the employer, they can come back and they have a steady pace for themselves once they graduate.
I want to be a truck driver when I grow up. I want to be a ballerina. You said you'd be an airplane engineer. That's called fixing things.
The new 7-story building that broke ground today in downtown Kalamazoo will be the future home of the Kalamazoo Promise.
City leaders and developers say they are thrilled to announce the building will be up in less than 2 years.
The building that we have the opportunity to work in now, we wanted it to be a welcoming environment. We wanted a space that would encourage scholars to come and visit us here should they need extra support. We wanted to have a place that scholars could be proud of. Over 60% of our team that works here at the Kalamazoo Promise went to the Kalamazoo Public Schools, utilized their Kalamazoo Promise Scholarship, and now work on behalf of this wonderful opportunity.
The heart of the Promise is investing in people and understanding that that investment has a return. It certainly has a return economically. We're investing in the trades, in certificate programs and associates programs, and saying those are all valuable.
Most people don't hear scholarship and think vocational education. So over the years, we have been very intentional on letting our scholars know that they have this as a path.
The Promise partners with the Michigan Regional Council for Carpenters and Millwrights and the Kalamazoo Electrical Training Alliance. For those Promise scholars that know what they want to do, an apprenticeship is the perfect opportunity for them.
Our tagline is your path, your promise. We really tried to live that every day.
The Kalamazoo Promise has inspired other schools throughout the state and the country, many of which are working on their own versions of the Promise.
Since the announcement of the Kalamazoo Promise, hundreds of programs have started across the country.
I don't think the Kalamazoo Promise donors were trying to invent a model that would be used elsewhere. But it became clear that this model was intuitive and powerful and very attractive to other communities.
I think Upjohn Institute now tracks like 300 programs that they consider place-based scholarships.
It is such a redeeming and remarkable feeling when they acknowledge and point to the Kalamazoo Promise as the beginning of it.
In the end, service binds us to each other, to our communities and our country in a way that nothing else can.
Of the first 9-10 classes now who've completed their eligibility, nearly 95% of them have started a post-secondary journey. So we're including everybody. Our challenge is equity. And equity means how do we make the Promise work for everybody?
That's the reason those donors created the Kalamazoo Promise in the first place. not for recognition or reward, but because of their connection to this community, because their belief in your potential, because their faith that you would use this gift not just to enrich your own lives, but the lives of others and the life of the nation.
Growing up, you always thought about getting out of Kalamazoo, but seeing how much all of us are willing to put into our communities, we're creating our own home.
Looking 20 years down the road, I would just hope for more of the same, right? A stronger, higher performing school district with more students going to college and especially entering, ideally, the local workforce.
We're hopeful that some of the issues that our community faces today, they won't have to face those issues in 20 years because we work together, we collaborate, and we do it in the name of community transformation.
We should challenge people to rise to the occasion, work hard, be disciplined, and change the direction of what your education is going to look like once you get into college.
We're making Kalamazoo shinier, you know? We're making it more welcoming. We're making it the home we always wanted it to be. And we're making it a place for us young professionals to be, you know? It wasn't always geared towards us. And so now you're starting to see that phase where not all of us want to leave. You know, now we kind of want to stay because we see the potential and purpose here, just like the Promise saw in us.